What's up, YouTube? Back here working on the 83 K10. Over here currently using my K5's 4.8 swap motor as testing purposes. I'm building me an AC bracket for the K10. I figured, you know, fall's just right around the corner. I might as well have cold air conditioning in it for next summer. So I'm starting the little project and building this here. This is what I got. I pretty much got it semi-fabbed up right now. This is my 4.8, so this is very similar to everything. I went ahead, this mount here, this bracket is a bracket that's you can find on a 90s K5 Blazer, 90 Suburban, pretty much any small block that has the any small block that has a serpentine belt. You do need to modify it. There's an ear that comes off the bottom here that I have over here. I'll go ahead and grab it real fast. There's some bald tires right there. But yeah, if I come over here, here it is right here. You need to cut that off the bottom of it. Now, I suppose you probably could use the other style. There's two styles. There's one that has this foot, and then there's a style that takes a vacuum and smog pump. I don't know if you could use the vacuum and smog pump one. I do have one of those serpentine belts brackets, and I may look at it. But if you get one from like a 90 to 95 Silverado, you'll be fine. Just go to the junkyard, pick yourself up one of these brackets. This idler, I went ahead and modified. It won't normally set like this. It normally sets down like this at the fully spring loaded. I ripped the spring out and pretty much got it. See, there's two paint markers here. Don't pay attention to that one. But this yellow marker is supposed to ride there, and then this yellow marker here is supposed to ride there. So that's where the optimum spring load you want on your serpentine belt is. Well, in my case, I couldn't run it perfect. I'm off by just a skosh, just because I needed to get a little more room between my water neck and my belt. And I had to heat up the water neck and bring it and turn it over. It can't be the factory angle. It has to be that. I'm gonna have to maybe modify my radiator hose. It should still clear the intake manifold, I'm hoping. I've got this strapped on this pallet, or I would put my intake down there to see how it is. But anyways, I gotta modify the intake on that truck anyways to accept the AC. Yep, everything lines up good. Basically, I'm using the bracket off of the older Chevy pickup. I'm using one of the stock support rods and a factory bolt here from this bracket. So you want to save, I'd suggest saving all the supports and everything too. Might even save the old junk compressor I'm going to be replacing, of course. This is the old cast iron steel heavy AC compressor. I'm going to use the lighter weight aluminum compressor when I put it in the truck. This is a brace. This is the stock tensioner down here. I'm just using the stock bolt that goes down in here. I'm using one of the bolts in the tensioner to bolt it. It bolts to down through here. There's a hole. It bolts there. And it bolts to the bottom cylinder head bolt. Yeah, there's a bolt right down in there that bolts to the bottom cylinder head bolt down there. Then I'm using this brace, of course, like I said, to bolt there, down there. Then I will go ahead and bolt on the back here and build me a brace that comes down and bolts to the cylinder head bolt back here. So I'll have pretty much a very good braced up AC belt, or AC bracket with AC compressor. Then I'll just use the 90s Blazer hoses, and pretty much shouldn't have to make any hoses. Hopefully that's the goal anyways. Right now I'm about a 107 inch and 7/8 belt with the big case alternator. I need to measure my pulley on my AC compressor too. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing, or that's what I got there. 107 and 7/8. I'm gonna buy a 107.38 inch belt because I'm gonna use the small case alternator that's on the K5, and there's about, I think, 3/8 to a 1/2 inch difference in belt length. Not a lot. It's like I think it's 2,699 millimeters, and the other ones are 2,690 millimeters versus or 96 millimeters, something like that, versus like 2,000 some, I can't remember. There's not a whole lot of, it's like 77 millimeters difference in a belt length, effective belt length. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is and what it looks like. The belt routing is going to be it's pretty simple. You pretty much wrap it around your crank. It runs up, goes up here, goes around that, comes down, goes under, runs across, runs up around the alternator. I think I screwed that up already. Well, just your same typical belt diagram, and then it comes up, goes up, over, and then down, and across, and up, and down, around. Yes, like that. So it goes up here, hits that idler pulley, actually goes up on the idler pulley like this, and then keeps that off your neck there. Goes up onto this pulley, goes up around the AC compressor, comes back down, goes under the tensioner, which the tensioner is pushing that way, then runs across, runs up around your alternator, comes down, goes around your power steering pump, up around your water pump, then back down around your crank. That's how it should go. So that should be pretty good. But yeah, like I said, once I clean it up, it'll look pretty good. It'll look pretty factory. I mean, it'll look good enough for this, and this is probably going to be very similar. I got another bracket. This will probably be what I'll do with the K5 as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing today. Just kind of dinking around. It's kind of a crappy day, and I don't have the keys to get in the warehouse with the forklift, so I can't bring the K5 in and work on it, unfortunately. So that's what we're doing today. I've also brought in some other stuff, because with this engine and transmission combo, my exhaust routing on this truck interfered with this, but I'm going to put this on this truck, or on my K5, just to have it. It's this brace that bolts here, runs up to your bell housing. I'm going to go ahead and make that work on this truck, or on the K5, and I'll make the exhaust. The exhaust is probably going to come down, dump below that, and then it should fit, I think. Because the exhaust is going to dump farther out than the starter. So yeah, it should fit, come down, dump out. See, my K10, the exhaust runs down and then goes in underneath the goes right underneath the pan here and across. My goal is to come down, go underneath the bell housing right here and circle over. I want to go whoop whoop and then go across and back is my plan. Don't know how well it's going to work out, but anyways, I think still I could get away with making that work anyhow, so we'll see. I got a pretty good amount of ground clearance too, so the exhaust being down a little lower than the pan won't hurt. Be right pan level. I need to steal the shield off of this, because if I do end up running my Y pipe to come around back here, I want this to be shielded. I got a shield that bolts here for the 4L60, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing today, though, is just playing with the AC brackets. I need to go get the other AC bracket and a couple of the support braces that I have. I might grab the other AC bracket, the older style, to see if that's any possibility you could make one of them work too, because there's a lot of them out there. But yeah, I'm having fun here just playing with the LS stuff. I'm still leery though when you heat this up and turn it and clock this differently if it will leak. So hopefully when I do the one on my truck, we won't have a leaking problem, but we'll just keep an eye on it after we do it, get it done. But I need, besides picking up all my tools, I need to redo my intake, like I said, because I'm using the stock tube here. That's not going to work for me in my situation, because if you look down at it, it's literally setting right where I need my, right where I need to go out for my AC compressor. So my plan is to get a couple of cold air intake systems for like a, you know, a 99 to 07 Silverado. I think I can do it with two. I can use that one piece to come over and connect to this. I'll still use this, bringing this over a little bit more. It's pretty flexible. It does just fine. I'll bring it over. I'll put an extension on this, bring this out to about here, just enough to clear it. My radiator hose, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it. I may end up taking this hose and cutting it right here and bringing this down onto it. I don't know yet, and I may cut a chunk out of the hose. I don't know, I may actually look for a different upper radiator hose. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of winging it right now. The good news is with my K5, I think I'm gonna be all right with the upper radiator hoses because I'm gonna be using the stock radiator, but I'm gonna go to, this is the 128 inch radiator, I think, core width. I'm gonna go to the 130, 134, whatever the big Tahoe and Suburban radiator, because I can run a set of GM electric fans like these here. Can run the stock radiator fans. Those aren't mine, them are actually for a guy I work with. We're putting electric fans in his 03 Escalade. Well, it used to be my 03 Escalade. But yeah, we're putting an electric fan upgrade in it. He's getting the 6 liter. We're gonna clean that up and stuff and gasket it and get that ready to go back in the Escalade. The 4.8's going in the K5. The 5.3 for right now staying in the 83 K10, unless I could come up with another 6 liter for it. But you know, I'm not real concerned. This 5.3 does just perfectly fine right now. I do need to get a condenser, because I will definitely need a condenser to put in here. I'm gonna do new condenser, new evaporator. I think I'm gonna end up, if I can't find another one of these lines, I will end up just blowing this out with some carb brake cleaner, cleaning it out really good, and cleaning it up really nice, and using it. It's just a aluminum pipe, or I don't think it's stainless. Pretty sure it's aluminum pipe. Should work pretty good. Like I said, it's this condenser's been open, the atmosphere, for God knows how many years. So we're gonna go ahead and get a new condenser, new evaporator, new compressor, new lines. So pretty much the AC system will be all new. I'm just gonna get an R34A pressure switch. It'll plug into the side of the what is it called? Evaporator. Yeah, the evaporator, not the evaporator, the condenser. No, the accumulator. The accumulator. I'll get a new accumulator too with the R34A switch, which will be there. I'll just unwire that, bring that around, and power off of the AC compressor that goes here. Probably have to extend my MAF again, which isn't a problem. I've done that a few times, so we'll go ahead and extend the MAF on it. I actually have a 90s newer coolant expansion tank that mounts here. Probably going to eliminate this one and mount that here. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put over here, but probably nothing. But I just don't like this expansion tank. This radiator and cooling fan setup seems to be working really well. This truck hardly ever sees 200 degrees. It floats right around, actually floats right around 190 degrees. Occasionally, if you're working it really hard, I've got her up to 205, but that was pulling my blue pickup on a trailer, with my blue pickup full of crap on a trailer, pulling up a hill, a hard hill, and it was like 100 some plus heat index that day. So it was working it, and I got up to like 205, but she quickly, once I got up over the hill, cooled back down to a cool 191. Actually cooled down to 188 because both fans were running. So yeah, and then everything kicked off. But yeah, it seems to work pretty good. I'm happy with this truck, and that's pretty much it. I haven't been doing much to it. I got the pieces to go down here for so I can look at getting some carpet for it. I got some. I'm thinking I'm gonna put some mud flaps on, make some brackets, put some mud flaps on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm slowly making progress on the K5. The K5 is gonna take a while to do, and I want to do it right. But I want to kind of make my K10. I want to kind of finish up some stuff with it. There's my K5 sitting over there. I'd like to finish up stuff with it. I would like to get like either carpet or rubber mat in it. I'd like to do gauges. I'd like to clean up the interior all around. Maybe get door panels, dash pad, all that stuff for it. Just make it nicer, especially if I'm putting air conditioning in it. It'll spend a lot more time with the windows closed, so it'll be. I want it to be nice. I want it to be something to you can enjoy driving. I enjoy driving it now with no air conditioning, but it has no carpet. It gets kind of hot in the summertime, especially when it's 100+ degree day out. But yeah, once we get air conditioning in it, she'll be a really, really, really awesome truck, and I'll really enjoy driving it. So yeah, this is pretty much it. What I'm going to do probably is add a third relay. These are both fan relays. Yeah, fan 1 and fan 2 over here. I'm probably add a third one that will kick on with the AC compressor and kick on both fans with the air conditioning on. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll kick both fans on with the air conditioning on, just so them both pulling through the condenser and all that stuff, keeping everything cool. I need to do some research on to see if there is a air conditioning on pin I can put in the computer that bumps up the RPM, just tells it that air conditioning's on, kicks up the RPM. You know, I need to do some research to that. But yeah, pulled my air box off and cleaned it up a little bit, cleaned the filter up, added this plug so it's no longer sucking hot air from the engine bay. Went ahead and flipped this down to get the filter back so it has a little more room to add more air to it. Blew the filter out and added a little oil to it again. Also drilled a 3/8 hole in the bottom here. Yeah, there's a 3/8 hole down here at the bottom. That's just in case water does get in and it can drain, because it didn't have a drain before. So now it does have a drain, which is good, so I can check that if I've been driving in a heavy downpour to see if much water gets in that. I don't know. I would like to get actually a filter cover for that so the truck don't have to suck much water in. But it'll just be moisture anyways. But yeah, this truck's been a damn good truck. I need to get oil changed in her. It's probably due. It says I've put 11,000 plus miles on this truck. Or no, I put, not 11, but I put like 6,000 miles on it. So I'm saying, it says I'm about 20 mile an hour off. So I'm saying I probably put 4,000 miles on it. So anyways, it's probably due for an oil change. I'm gonna go ahead and change oil in it, check transmission fluid, check transfer case. I checked rear ends and front end, rear end the other day. They're due for a change also, just because the front end needs changed because I put the new ring gear and pinion in, and I just need to change it to you know, just make sure everything's wearing properly and just clean it up. But I also want to get a aluminum diff covers for it too, because you know the paint is such in mint condition. I think it would really benefit from some aluminum diff covers. But there's a lot of chrome on this truck too, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do some things too. I gotta mess with my headlights here while I'm in here. There, I put H4 bulbs with aux beam LED headlights in it. I think the headlight actually needs to be flipped over because my high beam, I turn the high beam on, it gets brighter on the ground, and it looks like I'm brightening people all the time, and I'm pretty sure I am brightening people, so I'm going to rotate it down so I can blow the high beam up in the sky. So I don't know how that works, but you would figure the writing, this is halogen H4, you figured you would be able to read that, it shouldn't be upside down, but I don't know. It doesn't say top or anything. I'm going to go ahead and pull these screws out and then pull that, just flip them around, see what that does. But yeah, that's what, I may look at the bulb and stuff too, but that's what I've been doing today. I figured I'd show you on the AC compressor setup how I did it. I may actually do, when I do the one for this motor, I may do an actual like a step-by-step how-to, how I did it. And yeah, that's what I might do. There's also a good write-up on GMT 400 platform trucks website that I might post in the bottom where I got this idea from. But yeah, there's a couple other YouTube videos floating around there, so I'll probably go ahead and post them up too. Or not post them up, but you can search them up, but I'll probably add the link in the description for that write-up. But yeah, basically how I got my belt length is I just took a piece of wire, wrapped it in each groove and around each pulley how it's supposed to be, cut the length, took a tape measure, measured it out, and that's how I got my length. So you guys can do that and get whatever belt. You can run into a store, tell them you need a 6-rib, so-and-so length serpentine belt, and they can get you something close. So with as much tension play as there is in this tensioner, I shouldn't have a problem with the belt size that I chose. So yeah, I am probably going to order a belt too. I'm going to go ahead and throw the cover back on this and leave this stuff on here for right now, just because I want to order a belt and actually see if it mounts and fits on this. I am going with the smaller alternator side because that's the 130 amp big case alternator, and this is the 105 amp small case alternator, which isn't a big deal. I could take the 105 amp alternator off this truck and swap it with 130 on this truck if it fits worse, or vice versa. It wouldn't hurt to have a 130 amp alternator on that truck anyhow, because I do plan to do a stereo system in it at some point. My Rockford amps that were in my Escalade and my Trailblazer, the Punch 1000 and the Punch, what is it, 400 by 4 or 600 by 4 or something like that. I think it's 400 by 4. I'm going to put them in here, and just two 12s in a box behind the seat. I'll probably mount the amplifiers on the floor under the seat if I got room, or I'll put them behind the seat, somewhere in there. Just having, I want some bass in the truck, something that sounds good. That's all I'm looking for. But yeah, that's kind of out too. That'll be a while. I want to do that, get the air conditioning done. But I also want to do the K5, so it's slowly coming together. So yeah, that's money's going towards the K5 right now. I just have this stuff, so I'm just mocking this up, and this is going to be beneficial for the K10 and the K5, because I'm pretty sure this is how the setup I'm going to run. Because first of all, once this cleans up, this will literally look a lot like the stock, like it was a OEM piece. And on the K5, I'm kind of trying to go for a OEM style look with the swap. That's why I'm utilizing the stock fuse box, the stock coolant expansion system. I want to, in the stock PCM location mounts. I'm going to go with that, just because I kind of want it to look like you took in 98 to 02 Chevy pickup and kind of got together with a 85 K5, and you had a fuel injected 85 K5. And plus, GM's OEM equipment is good. I mean, there's countless 200,000+ mile GMT 800 platform vehicles out there, and I mean, their stuff has just been proven. The LS motor is bulletproof, very strong platform. All of the equipment, like the plastic tanked radiators, can be a problem. That's kind of a deal, but I'm getting a new one obviously when I do the 134 with the fans. And their fuse box and stuff, there's some problems with some rodent issues you can have underneath them, and that kind of ruins some of these trucks if they set for a long period of time. But that stuff will make me, I own it, I already have it, and I'm just going to make it work. That's my goal. I did plan on using the stock exhaust manifolds on the 85 K5, but I think I'm just going to get another set of these headers from Speed Engineering, because I know they fit, and they fit good, and they work good. That's probably what I'm going to do. So that's what I'll do. I'll probably going to buy a cheap exhaust builder kit off of eBay, build my own exhaust for the K5 just as something, because that's something I want to do myself, and that's probably what I'm going to do. So, but yeah, working on the AC bracket for the K10 swap, and that's how you do that. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you guys in the next video.